morning, guys. We're back. You're watching Everyday Struggle with Nadeska Wayno and Academics. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning, Academics. The cheetah print Knicks hoodie, the dope gold hat. What's good, man? How you feeling today?
What is this? Is this
It's
like
my
good,
man's.
is this good music? Like
Nah.
I thought Kanye saved this nigga. Man.
Nah, this is good, brother. This is my man shit. I'm supporting my man. You know what I mean?
Okay, support
black businesses. Yes, he is.
Yo, they made a conversation like, yo, y'all racist up here, man. If he was just your brother, would you support him?
Not if his shit was a dope. I'm not supporting nobody's shit if I don't like it.
No, I'm saying just if he wasn't black.
Oh,
he's just cool with you. He's white. He's Asian or some shit.
Yeah, nah. Listen, I
know you from Harlem. You got some weird rules. Just gotta figure it out.
I wear other people's shit all the time, but I'm supporting my man shit.
Have we warmed up to Jesus is King yet?
No.
No?
No.
Have you been listening back?
Yeah, I've still been listening. The music still hasn't captivated me, but I am, after watching his few press appearances, like I'm kind of impressed with his presentation. Presentation is on point. Like having a whole choir on an airplane, like just sing on the snap of your finger.
Yeah,
like,
for the karaoke joint.
That is amazing.
Good.
The budget is amazing. That's what it is. The budget.
Well, like just seeing rappers just do the normal press run, like you kind of get at least like wowed when you see like outside that.
Was they really flying though?
No, they were.
They was?
They were.
Okay.
They were. Like they actually took off.
All right.
So,
you checked.
Gotta give them credit.
That makes a big difference. You know what I mean? That makes a really big difference.
A little humble stun, A little humble stun. But as far as the music, I'm still locked in with what I said. Only follow that. Anyway,
we'll give you guys some more time. Maybe you'll still change your minds. Right. So yesterday we talked about T.I.'s top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. He explained why he thinks Pac was over Jay on the list. So we have a fan question about this. Hey, Everyday Struggle. In regards to your convo about impact between Jay and Tupac, do you think if a young Tupac grew up in today's social media era, would he have the impact and antics online like 6ix9ine, or would he be more reserved like J. Cole? So obviously a hypothetical, if you guys want to.
First, I'd like to say that Tupac was nothing like 6ix9ine. Like, please don't take those videos of him spitting at the camera and shit that he was like 6ix9ine. I mean, outside of Tupac's music, he never really said anything dumb. I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, he never said anything that was disrespectful unless he was disrespecting another artist. Everything where he was like very conscious. To me, Tupac was a conscious street rapper, So I think it would be, if Tupac had IG, I feel like he'd be going live every morning.
Yeah, exactly. Antics makes it sound very specific and trolly, but he was very charismatic, had a lot of personality, so he seems like he would have had fun on the gram.
Yeah, I don't think it would be like J. Cole or Jay-Z, just because, salute to those brothers, but I do believe, like, I think they hide from the public light a lot of times, like they do good things. But in terms of being vocal and being the face and being on the front lines, Tupac, even though, we didn't see what his life ended up being, salute to Jay, he's the force behind a lot of great things that happen, but sometimes he's not the actual image and the voice you actually hear. Tupac was really committed to be like in the inner city communities and be right there on the front lines with the people that he felt he was representing. So it's hard to say he would be J. Cole or Jay-Z. I feel like he would probably be more of a, there's like no one you can compare it to. You'd have to like combine three rappers.
Yeah,
it would have to be like, it's like, imagine if like 50 Cent was like really woke and using the gram for like good, like really on some real shit. Like, and he was like kicking knowledge, but like still fearless in how he approached stuff. That's the only way I could think about it.
Yeah, I think he just like, at this point, my imagination tells me that Tupac would be challenging a lot of political views. Because I mean, at 20, probably like 22, 21, that interview when he's
Kanye?
Huh?
Would he be Kanye?
Well, I'm about to say something like in that space. Like, remember when Tupac had said, like, he started talking about churches and he was like, he said about like a young nigga in the streets, how is he gonna listen to you when you telling him to come to a church and you got gold lining in the church and all these crazy murals and all that, but it's homeless people out here or people that can't even eat. And I think that like for him to say that at such a young age, if he would have still been here, he would have been more driven in the community. Like I feel like he would have done a lot of big things for the community, almost like what Nipsey was doing. Like what he was trying to do. I feel like he would have been on that type of wave.
All right, thanks for answering the hypothetical. Sometimes you guys are very dismissive of those questions. I appreciate it. Thank you for the question. Keep sending those at Everyday Shrug on Twitter with 2 Gs. All right, so since T.I. launched his Expeditiously podcast, he has been doing a lot of other press as well. So he recently had an appearance on the Tamron Hall show where he explains why he thinks cancel culture is fake. He says the narrative is only pushed when it's convenient. So he used Kanye and the Gucci cancellation as an example. Remember the blackface sweater? He was really anti-Gucci. He said, you'll cancel Kanye, but at the same time, someone like Gucci does blackface. You're cool with that, so you'll keep wearing Gucci, but you're on cancel Kanye. So the host asked if he thought it was hypocritical. He just says it's convenient. Would you guys agree?
I think cancel culture is actually real. It's just, you know, sometimes it doesn't affect you. So I'm not saying it's not real. Sometimes it doesn't affect you because sometimes your base is either bigger than that or it's just different from that. I mean, I think T.I.'s bringing up this Gucci shit because, like, T.I. was going hard, man. Okay? And niggas was looking at him like, yo, bro, you know I got, like, 20 outfits of Gucci at the crib. I can't give it up. And honestly, I do think that's one of those things where, like, we weren't completely united as a front on we're not fucking with Gucci. And also, like, I even heard Gucci Mane eventually, you know, did some stuff with Gucci. Like, he even said at the time he was rocking with everyone as the culture, but, like, he didn't really feel like what they did was, like, super intentional. And because of that, you're not going to get everybody to always be on the cancel that type of person at the same time. Now, that young woman, the white lady, Tammy Lauren, I believe she was canceled. You know, like, at least by black culture.
But she still has a big base, doesn't she?
Of course. But she kind of jumped up the ranks, like, in her base by getting a rise out of African Americans.
Right, she was the one who was trying to get Joyner to come on
her show. She said stuff about Jay-Z, retired drug dealer. She said stuff about Beyonce. She said stuff about every notable figure in the, like, in just black community that we would just kind of be outraged, and we bid for it time and time again. And I think finally, like, we stopped. Like, you know, like, we stopped caring what she said.
I think we stopped caring when we noticed that she was a troller. I think that she's a master troller, and she knows, like, because she's in a high place in media, what's going to create conversation. Because a lot of times I be thinking that, like, I mean, I don't know none of these people personally, but I think a lot of times that they say shit just to see if they could get a rise so that they can run their numbers up, right? Now, I do think that cancel culture, that shit is fake. I think it is fake because, especially, I'll just say amongst black Twitter, the African American community, whatever you want to call it, because we forget so easily, yo. Like, all you got to do is do one thing to make niggas happy. Make a good song and then everybody's on you know, fucking with you again. Like the Gucci shit. I mean, I always say it, me personally, I don't give a fuck about Gucci because I don't buy it. So it's like, we not buying a brand I already don't support? Cool, who gives a fuck? But people was like, what? Nigga, I worked hard to spend $700 on these socks. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it does no benefit to you, but we wear our success. You know what I mean? Like, we wear our success. So I think that it does work in certain sections, like a Tommy Lauren in our culture, yeah. And, like, I'm pretty sure in I don't know if they call it white culture or white Twitter or whatever the case may be, but I'm pretty sure certain shit that they do, they cancel us with certain shit. But I think it just works by whomever's using it, on who.
Well, once it got to the point where people are just, like, quote unquote canceling others for just maybe a difference of opinion, it's gone too far, right? Like, we're allowed to have public discourse and also disagree. And when certain people, you know, like, I think it became certain places where, like, people felt like other opinions, just opinions, were, like, so, like, hurtful to them, like, they need to cancel that person in totality. Where I do think, and this is what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say T.I. is completely wrong, because when I'm thinking about cancel culture, like, you're not canceling a fashion brand. You get me? That's a fashion brand. People make their choice to go buy it or not. What or who actually gets canceled, some of these niggas who, yeah, they're either really problematic or they've been really accused of some really heinous shit. Like, remember when they were unearthing, like, all the goddamn, like, pedophiles and, like, child molesters and also people within entertainment industries that were molesting a lot of chicks and making people feel uncomfortable? All of them motherfuckers, they've lost their jobs and we haven't seen them since. Like, I don't want to drop certain names, but, like, I'm looking for some of these niggas. They're just gone.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I don't know if they could reverse that and just, like, return back in society, like, oh yeah, I just have another big job. But it seems a far way off. The only thing I do agree, though, well, he didn't make this point, but I like to bring it to light, is that at least for the majority of what cancel culture is, because I identify with cancel culture as, you know what, Wayno did something bad, we're almost gonna like blackball him, he's gonna lose his job, a lot of things he might do publicly as a public figure that creates his livelihood and feeds his family, we're almost gonna ostracize him to the point that like he's losing all those things, right? My thing is that there almost is no redemption in it. You feel me? Like, yeah, okay, cool. Again, not for everything will there be redemption, but if somebody says some dumb shit or they made a mistake that is forgivable, after a year or two, like, if that person humbly accepts their wrong and they come back into society willing to learn, won't, like, social media ain't the time for second chances. You gotta be beaten down, crying, like, yo, I'm broke.
Or you just gotta get hot again. You gotta do something to get hot
Or
again.
you just gotta be white. You know what I mean? Like,
not real shit.
For real, like the thing with music is like you could be canceled and not give a fuck, like a Chris Brown. So like Chris Brown is canceled, right? Like you won't see him on any national campaigns for any brands. Like he's essentially canceled. Anytime most people show support for him, even now they'll get backlash. But he still has a huge fan base, which means he can't be canceled.
He's not canceled. I think it's just like, I don't know. I guess people are just afraid to say that they actually like him. Like, he's held to whatever, you know, he's held to all of the mistakes he's made in his life where certain people can move on from him. You know what I mean? I just think that with Chris Brown, it's not a cool thing at the end of the day when people in media say that they like him. But his music is still all over the radios. He still sells the most records. He's like he has more #1s than anybody in IRA history. So he can't be canceled, but I don't know, man. Like, I just think that people are scared to, like, really talk about him. Because then every time they try to have a conversation, they try to just say, how did you ever move? They never try to ask him, how did he move on from it? They just try to bring that one thing up.
And just even lastly here, with Tip saying that, I think he's harping on that Gucci subject because I think he's looking at cancellation in terms of culturally. I think as time goes on, it becomes even harder for us as a culture, black people, to agree on one thing. We all over the place. Like, you know what I mean? If like, we can sit here and be like, we don't like Trump, and then Kanye be like, but I love him. Trump is great. See, there's nothing we're gonna like almost all agree on. So like,
not even R. Kelly.
Yeah, some people are gonna be like, well, I don't really like, shoot, I've said that, you know, I do think a lot of the stuff is disgusting, but am I gonna stop listening to the music? Like, I kind of dissociate and separate when it comes to that.
Is Jussie Smollett fully canceled?
That's a very good question. I'm still waiting to see if he's gonna make his comeback.
He's not, because every time I say like, yo, they need to go get that nigga for the money that he wasted in the investigation, they're like, but so-and-so got away with it. I'm like, he's not canceled.
Right.
He's not canceled.
More chances. All right, so obviously before Kanye dropped Jesus is King, he dropped his big interview with Zane Lowe at Beats One, and he did go on to do more press with people like Big Boy. He just did the carpool karaoke, well, airplane karaoke we were talking about. And when an artist like him or Drake or Jay usually drops, you know, they'll go for like the New York Times. Sometimes they'll do some overseas outlets. So during an interview with Nick Cannon on Power 106, NORE explained further, because he has mentioned this before, why he has an issue with those artists when they drop and they decide to do interviews not with people from the core of the culture.
So when I see Kanye, when I see a Drake, when I see a J. Cole, when I see a Pusha T, and I see you ever go to any place other than us,
right?
The culture. I have a problem with that.
You go to them first.
You're mad at the
I'm not mad at Zane Lowe at all.
You're mad at
I'm more mad at Kanye.
Yeah. Right.
I am more mad at Kanye.
Now you think maybe he was scared to come to you?
I don't care if you're scared to come to me. Drake told me he's scared to come to me, but Drake said he's coming. Pause.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Okay, so let me address it off the top. I don't know the history of Zane Lowe. Is Zane Lowe of the culture?
I don't know. I'm just keeping it.
I've seen him involved in like interviews with hip hop artists. Yeah. I've never seen him interview anyone else. He probably has. Decent knowledge, but is he gonna hit? People's interview styles are different. He's not gonna be the one pressing you about shit that we've seen. He's not gonna hit you with a lot of things that, you know, sometimes if you go up to the Breakfast Club, I would imagine, shit, even if you come here, we're gonna ask you some shit about some social responsibility if your actions have shown that maybe it lacks it, right? So some of those questions I do believe, like when you go to culture outlets, are gonna be asked, right? Like, So I look at Zane Lowe interviews, right? If he's pointing at Zane Lowe, as like just a softball interview, like, yo, you're not gonna press me on stuff. I could kind of like dictate how the flow of this goes, and this is not one of the interviews that I'm sweating. So if I have an agenda, like Kanye, I have like a whole like talking points and rhetoric I want to get out. Yeah. It's easily done without like us refocusing on something that make me feel uncomfortable. Right. So I don't look at that. I look at, you know, I look at Drake more than, and I know he wasn't saying the interview, he was talking more about the rapper. I look at Drake more than I look at like Kanye. You know, like Kanye faces the fire a good amount. Like, man, Drake stopped doing radio interviews with y'all niggas a long time ago. Drake is going to the UK. Yeah. You know, like Drake might interview with a nigga in like Ethiopia this time around. And honestly, I do believe, I think he'll probably stop in the future because, you know, just even hearing how he's talking and shit, even hearing what NORE said, maybe he'll switch that around. But it is disappointing when we love and we build up people like Drake, Rihanna. I mean, most of these motherfuckers who we don't ever see an interview with people of the culture. We see some shit in GQ and fucking the biggest magazines that we probably don't even like really buy on the stand, so we got to get excerpts and shit. I'm not saying they got to come and plop their ass down on Everyday Struggle, but at least do something that's still connected to the people who really care for you and also have a little, just want a little accountability.
I think it goes kind of back to what you were saying about like when he interviewed Kanye, Zayn, and you were saying like it's not challenging. I think that, and like I said, I don't really know. I've seen like his Kanye interviews. I've seen the Lil Uzi one, right? And a few others, but I think that for most artists, they feel like it's safe, right? Because you know when artists come up, they got a list of things they don't want to talk about. And most of the things that we might want to talk about or the people want to hear is stuff that's personal in their life or stuff that might be a little bit touchy. But them, it's like, I don't think that they even think of that when it comes to them doing interviews. Like I'll say Zayn or whomever else. I think they just don't want to be challenged. Some people just don't want to be challenged by certain media. Like, remember when Ebro interviewed Uzi? I remember it was on High 97. I feel like Ebro, he kind of set Uzi up. Like, you tell him to rap and you put on a DJ Premier beat. Like, you know you was setting him up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and Uzi could rap, but you know Uzi probably can't hold his own on a Premier beat. And I think that uncomfortable feeling with certain artists makes them say, man, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah, but I get that. Like, listen,
I'm not excusing it by saying that.
If you're a Rihanna or shit, even a Drake, you might not want to go into the gauntlet or the fucking the lion's mouth that might be the Breakfast Club and get grilled on every personal thing that some of the stuff that might be embarrassing or you don't even want to address.
But why not though? Real quick. But why not though? Only because I know that they watching that shit. Like, I know that all of these artists, whenever somebody else does it, they're watching that shit.
Of course, because it's entertainment, but you don't want to be the source of that kind of entertainment.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I do believe that, like, in terms of hip-hop, like, for example, you'll get the biggest pop act still go up and go to Elvis Duran's show.
Right.
Right? It's like, okay, it's cool. But I feel like hip-hop acts treat media as
but
like...
But is it because they feel like it's too... They feel like it's too combative.
Not only gossip, but it's like hazing. Like, once I go through this, once I don't need this shit no more, trust me, I ain't doing it no more. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, and you'll start seeing certain things when they're at the tail end of fucking with it. Yo, if y'all want to talk to me, y'all come to me. Okay? I remember, like, years ago, notoriously, Rihanna's like, listen, the only person I'm doing, I fly all y'all press people, like, on my plane, and y'all can talk to me for a couple minutes a day. Like, yo, you know the vibes when that's happening. And, I mean, I can't be mad at it because the control and the power kind of swings to almost, the pendulum swings to their side, and they get to dictate what the heck,
how they want to do it.
Because we're going to give them attention anyway.
But I don't know, yo. I just got, you know why that doesn't sit well with me? Only because it's like me and Nadeska was talking, like, we look at Angie, right? And then, like, 20 years in her career, now she's able to start a new platform and build with the same people she was interviewing when they was rookies and now they're 20-year vets. It's like, okay, I don't see that happening for any of the, like, new up-and-coming media people in hip-hop where 5 years down the line, they go once when they're a rookie and then never go back. Like, I think that's kind of whack, though. I really do believe that's kind of whack.
And this is what I was saying about having a safe space too, right? So like, there's many different options. You don't have to go to the Breakfast
There's
Club.
like Sway.
You know what I mean?
You
Go to Sway. Like Sway is really like cool and calm, and like the way he's not really probing or even trying to set you up with like, oh yeah, so I seen this on the blogs. It's not him. So I do think there's options there. There is a concerted effort among a lot of artists to just get away from those outlets. Mm-hmm. And I do think that maybe they just associated with a lot of gossip.
Yeah.
One, but I do think as well, they probably look at like, I don't need those outlets. They're gonna cover me anyway. Let me go to this outlet who's covered me for the first time, and the other outlets that used to cover me, they'll get the quotes from them.
But the thing, and I say this lastly, like the thing about that is most of those other outlets don't even know, like really know none of this shit that you're about. Like they don't know you or know where you come from. And don't get me wrong, I like, to see somebody do their homework and you'll get their journalism and get their questions right. But what do they know about you? How can they really symptomize with you when you're talking about coming from the same place that they come from? I feel like you could get a better interview from a Hot 97 or a Breakfast Club or LA Leakers or whomever else, as opposed to just going and doing Tim Westwood. Like the only thing I watch Tim Westwood for is the freestyles. Like I never really get into
interviews too.
I mean, yeah, he does, but it's like the freestyle. To me, he's like the overseas funk flex. It's like everybody, you might listen to the interview, but you're really waiting for the freestyle more than anything. You know?
So let me ask you this, and you can pass. I don't want to put nobody on the spot. I don't want to Charlemagne nobody. But like Meek Mill went through what he went through. He's coming out with prison reform largely on his back. And then we were expecting him to at least do a couple of outlets.
Yeah.
Most of the quotes about prison reform came from like some magazine shit. Like it was like, yo, I wouldn't think you're speaking to a magazine who I don't know who's interviewing for the magazine, so I don't want to make assumptions.
Yeah.
But like, I would expect maybe a cultural outlet to really have that discussion with. And I think he did go to the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he went to the
But
Breakfast
like,
Club.
I felt like it could have been more, that's your thing right now. It's like prison reform. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see you in GQ. Like even when I think I saw like 21 in GQ talking about his immigration, I'm like, okay, this is a different flex.
Right.
You know? But it's like, I think those discussions would be better on platforms that are more cultural, but then I also think our platforms that are more cultural, do they know how to handle shit? Because we see with Ebro, he almost sent Kodak to jail. So Kodak, so what happened with that case? I know it's open, but what's up? You know what I mean? So I'm wondering where that line is and why the motivation is.
Well, I think sometimes, unfortunately, the look is more important than like how we feel culturally. Like I would love for it to just be, I wouldn't say just be us, but like that's what I grew up on. I grew up on watching Fab Five Freddy walking with Tupac uptown in Harlem and Tupac showing where he lived at, where he went to school at, all that type of shit. I think that now it's not about like, let me look out for that person. It's all about like, let me get the biggest look out of it. And I won't put that specifically on each artist. I say that might be from the management team or the label that they signed to, like, yo, we need to get this big look. And they, all these people as partners and friends with all these different outlets. Like most of the people who's probably the head press person at GQ or something was probably the head of PR at Universal at one point in time. So they get those exclusives. So it's a lot of, ping-ponging with that shit.
You're right, because like, let's go do Everyday Struggle or Good Morning America.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting the flex, man.
Exactly.
Because I remember seeing 21 Savage, I'm like, yo, 21 Savage on Good Morning America. Like, what's going on, you know what I mean? But,
The Savage of 21, that's probably how they had it written on his...
Right? Sir Savage.
Sir Savage.
All right, so maybe when Drake does his Drink Champs interview, NORE will talk to him about it. We can hear his perspective.
I need a one-on-one interview with Drake if this going on. I ain't gonna lie to you. Drake, what?
Nah, I ain't gonna front. That'd be legendary,
I'm pressing him in the DMs now.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna run through some new music in our segment Brick Hit or Wait on It. We're gonna start with Tyga featuring YG and Carlos Santana. This is Mamacita. Wayno, Brick Hit or Wait on It?
I say hit. I think that Tyga, especially Tyga and YG, have found the way into this like Mexican type wave, you know what I mean, with music. But I think it's dope. I mean, you go get Carlos Santana or something, and Russian is a big producer, but you go get Carlos Santana or something, like, he's adding something to it that hasn't been, that you can't just get. Like, that's legendary. But I would like to see, if the people who are watching, please let me know, is there any Mexican artists that are making these types of records for real? I want to know that, because
y'all want to know how I thought that dude J or whatever his name was Spanish. The one that's like uno, dos, tres.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I'm like, oh shit.
He's not. Yeah, he's not Spanish.
He black as fuck.
He black. Dog, I was at the BET Awards and walking with my son, and he was like, "Yo, that's the dude that sing," and I was like, I didn't even know the song at the time.
I thought he was gonna have a sombrero on and I'm doing the most.
No, but I think, you know, if the Mexican rap, you know who's a dope Mexican rapper? Is this kid from Houston named Peso Peso. He's really dope. Like, he should really like get on that type of wave, because he on some street shit, but
there's mad people who be supporting that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
You say hit?
I say hit.
I'm going hit.
Okay.
I didn't even know I was gonna say wait on it. Then I seen Russian. Salute to my man Russian. You know,
Right.
Came a long way from producing those hits for Vibes Cartel, you know, and Tyga has figured out that little secret formula. And when he drops a track like this, I just know it's gonna work. So I'm going hit.
So since Taste, this is it, because I don't think you guys liked what happened in the middle.
I'm not saying we didn't, well, me personally, I'm not saying I didn't like what happened in the middle. I just felt it got a little bit repetitive by the time the album came.
Because, I mean, he found his wave, and he was, you know, the stripper.
Yeah, I'm milking it till this cow is dry. I'm sorry.
All right, so the next one is Roddy Ricch featuring Gunna, to Start With Me. It's going to be on Roddy's project, Feed the Streets 2. Wayno Can't Wait.
Hit,
another hit? Okay.
Another hit, man, another hit. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Roddy is gonna be, going into 2020, my favorite rapper. Like, for real. Like, I got a chance to hear some of his album, and it's incredible. Like, that dude is super talented. So, it's a hit for me.
I'm going hit as well. I haven't seen Roddy miss in a while. Actually, I don't think I've seen, like, was there one song I didn't really like? I think there might have been one. But, like, he's been pretty on. I think he's been the most consistent rookie other than the Baby. I got to say. He's definitely been really just consistent all the time. I want to see how his album's going to turn out, because, you know, while we're getting these great songs that he's putting out, how does he put it together? How does he tell his story? You know, he's from Compton. Let's see how that really culminates. So can't wait to hear that.
All right, this next one is for Halloween, Zombie. So this is Kodak Black featuring NLE Choppa and DB Omerta. This one came out last Friday. Wayno?
I say wait on it. This joint is hard. It's hard though. Like, this is really dope. The reason why I say wait on it is because, like, Kodak is not here to push it. But NLE Choppa, like, you know, what's the name of his single? I'm sorry.
Camelot?
Nah, not that one. The first one he's
Shot
on
of Flow.
Shot of Flow.
1 to 4.
Right. Yeah, he got a bunch of them shits. But it's good to see him kind of stepping out of just Shot of Flow, like just that one kind of dimensional flow, because I thought that everybody was just going to hold him till his hit. But I like him on here. DB Omerta, he's another dope artist that's coming out of Atlanta. He got a lot of heat too, so I say wait on it.
I really want to go wait on it, but I'm going to say fire. I think NLE Choppa is learning what a lot of new rappers eventually have to learn. You know, like, he broke on the scene with Shot of Flow, and people don't be realizing when you see your favorite rapper break on the scene and they're relatively new at rapping and it's like a freestyle-like record, it's because they don't know how to make songs. So it's like Shot of Flow is like him just kind of, okay, this sounds hot, but I don't know how to structure the song, right? And, okay, it works. I'm going to do it like 5 more times. Now, with Camelot, that did great. You know, he's stepping out with Zombie. The only reason I was going to say wait on it is this. Kodak and Choppa, there's friction there. So when the guy who's featured on the song to help it, there's friction with, I don't know. But who knows? It happened before, you know. It happened with Boogie and Kodak too. So, and that song did really well. So I'm gonna say hit.
All right, how about this one? Godfather 4. This is Davies featuring Nas, production by Green Lantern.
I say wait on it. I don't think it's not intended to be like a big hit record, but it is dope. Like, they both do their thing on it. Green Lantern, of course, on the production is dope. You know, but Dave got his album coming out, so we'll see. But I say wait on it. Okay.
I'm gonna say wait on it as well. I'm interested to see what Davies is gonna come with this time around. You know, after his last project, I forgot what it was called, but like I heard him speak and his evaluation of just like where he's at in his career. I do feel like the right record takes him somewhere else, And if he doesn't get that right record, we might get some of the same that's been happening recently. So, you know, I'm waiting for the right record, and you know, it's hit brick or wait on it.
All right, the project's called Survival. It's coming soon. And last one, OCD. This is Logic featuring Down to Earth. Hear Logic reflect on the pressures of being a celebrity on this one.
Go ahead.
Man, I don't want to hear this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Logic, bro. Damn, this shit is thick. Pause. The brick, like, it's thicker than the other cards. What's wrong with you? Brick, bro, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this, man. Like, again, with Logic, it's when it comes to, like, again, I use this to kind of judge singles. This particular song, nah, not for me.
Okay.
I'll say wait on it. It's cool. I mean, it's cool. I think Logic.
Rat Pack, though.
I think Logic, man. Logic is under a lot of fire right now, man. Like,
Yeah, you feel like you had to give him one? Yeah.
Nah, man. Logic, a lot of people putting Logic under a lot of fire, man. Logic is a good guy.
Logic gotta diss some niggas.
He do.
He gotta diss niggas. Like, he's a rapper.
Yeah, he gotta diss some niggas. I ain't
Very
gonna lie.
capable.
But who? You talking about media personalities?
He gotta diss Joe.
What's the point?
He gotta diss everybody. He gotta diss. He finally him and Joyner collaborated.
It's like you say.
Might even have to get the Joyner diss off
No.
that.
But see,
it's just like you say. It's just more content for them. It's the same thing you would do.
No.
Yes.
No. All right, but here's the thing though. It's the Russ effect. You see, Russ had to start slapping niggas, and niggas stopped playing with his name.
Yeah, but it's different with rappers versus media personalities. Come on, if anyone you were
fire somebody up, shit on his career or something.
No. The thing with Logic is
Logic become a beating stick for people. People like a lot of people used to say, "Yo, Logic is dope," but he rapping that weirdo shit, or like he just keep talking about that biracial shit to dismiss him. That's how they used to say. Now, niggas are just blatantly jumping out saying Logic is whack, and Logic ain't whack. He far from it. He might have had one like verse that you know is like, "Yo, that ain't it, Chief," but like, come on, bro.
I don't think that is just his verse. Like, okay.
You think Logic whack?
No, I don't think he's whack. The thing that I have with Logic is the same shit I have with like Chance, right? Very dope rappers, but they put too many disclaimers in their bars. Like Logic could say some shit like, yo, like say some shit like, yo, I want to lap dance, but I also want to tell you that you could be anything, girl. Like he always does some shit to dismiss. Like,
you know, he's battling the contradiction.
Nah, fuck that, man. Just go all the way. Like, because he can explain it in a good interview later.
So you want him to stop with the disclaimers? You want him to
just go
jump out and start
jump out
shitting
the
on
fucking
people.
window. Because not just shitting on people. I don't want him to
That's
just
what he wants.
I don't want him to start shitting on
he gotta
people.
diss some niggas, for real.
Okay, but what is the point of dissing combative media personalities?
You know why? Because
if Logic dissed you, what would you do with that?
Eminem
Content.
dissed him.
No, okay.
And it was content for him. What's the point?
But it could be content, but it could be so dope that I have to acknowledge his dopeness.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that when there starts to be a narrative, you let that shit ride and you're like I'm telling you, the only reason why Russ is slapping niggas is because he didn't want to be the guy. He didn't want to be the young Berg. Trust me, of this generation, at least when it comes to like, yo, L's and this. He didn't want to be the Bow Wow, like real talk. When you hear those names, at least traditionally on rap, you're like, oh man, you don't even take it serious. Logic, he's just got his big ass contract. He rapping out here, the Rat Pack holding him down. The numbers didn't look too good last time. Don't let niggas bring your shit down. Come out swinging. They gotta knock you out.
You should host seminars. Yo, I would pay to watch you give.
Okay.
Give this advice.
Trust me.
You just went crazy.
Yo, trust me. They just opened up. They opened up the forum of discussion that if Logic's next album is a little bit shaky, they're gonna call it flat out whack. I promise you. Logic gotta come out swinging.
Swing.
Niggas gotta get dissed, man.
Yeah.
Got to.
Swing.
I'm telling you. I've always defended Logic.
No, you haven't.
No, I've always had. It's just I started defending him.
Niggas lying. Now he got hype and now he started lying.
Nah, I've never called him trash. You know. I've always said, yo.
Logic not trash though.
We had a discussion over here. I was like, yo, cause somebody rapped better than Logic, and I forgot who it was.
J. Cole. You said that he rapped. You said that Logic rapped better than J. Cole.
I ain't say, see.
You did.
See, yo.
We shouldn't go down this wormhole. We can't pull the footage.
Wait, did you say that?
We pull the footage. I said they
now.
rap in the same realm.
Yeah, you said he in the same space. He's not. He's not.
See,
yeah, now you're bugging the fuck out.
Yo, Logic, if you don't mention Wayno's name, man, and his fucking outfit in the goddamn verse you about to drop, I'm done with you, man. I'm done with a lot of rappers who I be over here caping for, and then they drop the music, and I'm like, I should never.
Yo, you are charged up right now.
Right.
Jesus.
Big Sean, one of them. Big Sean I was holding Big Sean out for 2 years.
Big Sean said that his next album is gonna be his best album ever.
Okay.
Everybody say that. I'm just saying. Yo, you never experienced that? Where you holding like, you know when you argue with your friends and you holding a rapper, that's like a basketball.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yo, he gonna come crazy.
Yeah.
He's gonna come crazy. And then you say, oh shit, I should have said a fucking word.
Or boxing matches, all types of shit. Yeah, absolutely.
I talk shit for my favorite rappers.
All right, that was
Logic is not your fucking favorite rapper. What are you talking about?
I talk shit.
I just had to think about that for a second.
He just has an inability to even. He's so humble. I had to talk the shit for him.
Oh man.
Logic is a good guy.
Yo, Logic, there was a lot of.
Don't get out of the
Advice
diss now.
for you.
Look at this nigga Wayno, man. Own your diss, man.
Oh my diss.
Ever since he got unblocked from
honored.
Ever since he got unblocked from Drake, man, he don't want no more smoke. Look at this nigga, man.
I'd be honored.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into our segment, Big Facts or BS. I don't know how many L's would be in all of our comment sections combined, especially after the Kanye episode on Monday. So Big Facts or BS, this is Master P, his take on an L.
The biggest billionaires that I know, they lost millions and they had to start over. So knowing that it's not an L is a lesson. And when you fall down, you got to get back up.
He's trying to take the stigma out of these nasty internet terms.
I mean, yeah, Master P, I'm pretty sure he's not like on IG all day and nothing like that. But I mean, he's right. He's right in one sense. He's definitely right in one sense. Like when you do take a L, you're supposed to learn from it and assess it. A lot of people don't learn, so essentially that L becomes an L. So I can't call it Big Facts. I'm gonna call it BS.
Now I gotta go with Big Facts. Like this is true. Like L, I mean, it's a loss if you just stay defeated. But if you analyze the situation and go a different route, I gotta believe it's a lesson. You at least know what doesn't work, right? So you're armed with some more information in your toolbox on how to deal with shit. I always said, you know, like when on the path of success, like by the time you get successful, nobody's gonna remember your L. Like people are gonna think you're just undefeated. That's the general perception of fans. Like I always tell people, like when it came to my YouTube career, man, I try to like jumpstart my shit like 60 different ways. They all failed. Nobody gives a fuck about that. They only remember, oh, he got 2 million subscribers. He's lit. He could do no wrong. But that's how it is in a lot of cases. Yeah. You could name probably a bunch of rappers. Nobody's gonna remember like, yo, damn, yo, he used to be doing that. That shit was whack as shit. Then he did that. Whack. He failed 12 times. Now he finally popped. Nobody cares about that as long as you pop. So I gotta say, the people who end up being that, you took that L and you made it a lesson. So P is right.
Okay.
All right, should we do one more of these? Or should we wrap up?
Let's do one more.
What, YK Osiris?
The king of R&B want to say something. The fuck?
All right,
better stop playing.
All right, this one's a video, so let's check it out.
Son, soon as you sign that contract and get that money and take that money, you sold your soul. So all that mimic talking about, oh, he sold his soul, she sold his soul. If you sign a contract and got that money, you sold your soul.
Okay, that's how YK Osiris feels. Big Facts or BS?
This is very interesting to me because he signed a contract. I don't understand the whole, you know, people always use that sold your soul term. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean. Cause like,
you know sold your soul yet?
No, I ain't sell my soul, like no. If niggas can really sell their soul, you know how many fucking souls would be sold, nigga? Like,
niggas are selling, but they give you a nice little manager's check, a little cashier's check, you go put in your bank, it's all good.
Nah, man, nah.
I mean, signing the wrong contract sounds like you sold your soul.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is that if you sign the wrong contract, which most of your first contracts are usually wrong, don't sign the first one that they give you, it's gonna fuck you over. But I always say it's nobody's business to teach you business. Acquire some knowledge before you want to go and be an artist. The same way you cannot be an electrician because you change light bulbs.
I feel like you had a bad experience with an electrician once.
No, I just heard No ID say it. That's why I always use it.
Okay.
It's a good analogy, so I love saying it because No ID said it.
YK Osiris, the king of R&B, reigning king at that too.
Well, you have to put your back into that.
He's right. He's right. I'm gonna put what he said in context because if we only just go with the soul for sale shit, might sound crazy, okay? But in context stuff, he had a couple more videos. He was like, "Listen, I see a lot of people who are like calling upon God, who are attributing their success to God, and he's saying that is not the work of God when you're successful like that through music." Because traditionally through music, you're praising and you're you're praising the wrong shit. You're praising money, women, and everything else that God would not want you to praise. So if that's
God
how
wants you to praise women.
If you're lusting after women, you're promoting premarital sex, all that type
you
of
mean
stuff.
sex, not women.
Now premarital
No,
sex
praising anything but God. Like, let's be honest. Like, you're praising false idol. You're creating yourself to be a false idol. You're over here.
What are you getting at?
Where are we going?
No, that's what he's. The other videos, that's what he's saying. He was just saying that being successful in music is not the work of God, it's the work of the devil. And he has a point. What you mean?
Wait.
Kanye started a movement now.
Being successful in music is the work of the devil?
He's saying that.
Man, niggas ain't doing the right shit with their bread. That's what that shit is, man. Niggas is not doing the right shit with their money, my nigga.
He's making a point, though. He's like, yo, the devil is in exchange for all that morality shit of you being a good person, this and third, in terms of what you're promoting.
Right.
You're gonna have to promote some shit that God wouldn't like, and that's how you're getting these riches.
That's not true. That's not the same thing for everybody.
These niggas is promoting killing, robbing, selling drugs, bitches.
But this is a revelation right
so does
now.
A&E. So does HBO.
Yeah. They sold too. God, you think God is bumping to the new NLE Chopper single?
Oh my God, man. Like, then what the fuck is we reviewing this music for then? I guess we sold our souls too.
Wayne, I told you got your check. I told you, like, niggas about to spend your shit until you just put it in the bank.
Yeah, because I've heard it all this week. I'm a media puppet. I'm all types of shit this week.
Wait, if you didn't get the You're Paid by Atlantic yet, like, you ain't made it yet. You got to get that.
Oh, yeah?
I work for one or so.
Oh, shit! Confirmed! Confirmed! Listen, as soon as, you got to get that when you, like, criticize, like, Nicki or something.
Yeah, that shit is amazing.
You didn't get that yet?
What?
You're Paid by Atlantic?
No, you know what I need? I need niggas saying, yeah, I need that I worship the devil. I need that because that's when you start really getting money. Like, once niggas start putting that, once niggas start putting that on you, like, what? That nigga worships the Illuminati, all of that, that's when you really get money. Now, if the Illuminati was a real thing, they wouldn't be letting niggas in. I just tell you that.
That shit's real. But I'm going to just keep going. Hold on.
What?
The next one, that's when you know you really made it.
Right.
That's when they call you gay, bro. For real. When they say you're gay,
Yeah?
I'm telling you, bro.
What about when they say you're bleaching?
That's good, too.
You getting that money.
Yo,
We doing
when
good.
Nicki had said that shit about it, was like, yo, I knew you was gay. I said, damn. I was like, yo.
Nigga looked in the garage.
I was like, yo, I made it, dog. Like, I finally made it.
Oh, standards are so high, man.
I mean, I
right.
don't know, man. You know, you and 6ix9ine, the verdict, I don't know what might be going on between y'all two.
It's Illuminati shit, man. You say it's not real. When you cross over, trust me, we're gonna have you and Pusha T on the same shit.
Yeah, you stupid.
All right,
The
man.
King R&B, man. Salute to this guy, man.
BS.
I'm trying to say rest in peace now.
Okay. Oh,
Done
absolutely.
with all the jokes. Rest in peace to a legend, but we should celebrate this man. So John Witherspoon, actor, comedian, he died at the age of 77. You guys definitely know him. He was Pops on the Wayans Brothers. He was Gramps on the Boondocks. He was in the Friday series. Legendary.
Bang,
rest
bang,
in peace
bang.
to this man.
Pops, rest in peace to Pops. You know what's so crazy? Like, when I see a person like John Witherspoon pass away, it is unfortunate, you know, but I gotta be so happy for all the stuff he gave us. Because you know what's crazy? To have never met that man one time in my life. I think I did see him one time, but I never met him. I feel like through his roles, he raised me in certain ways. Like, it's certain things, certain lines that he said or delivered that always just stick to you. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to John Witherspoon.
It's crazy, like, his energy and personality, like, I think bled through, like, every role he ever played, but, like, he was still, like, 4 distinct different characters, whether it was him in Friday. Shit, I see him on the Wayans Brothers a lot because, like, if you ever turn on BT at one of those odd hours when you want to pay for new programming,
Right.
They're running a rerun of the Wayans Brothers show. And, of course, Boondocks, like, that's a legendary voice on there that's narrated us through so many things. So, you know, like, in the last couple of years of his life, I was watching closely as he still was continuing to work. He's someone who, as he aged, and by the way, he died at 77, but, like, as he aged, like, he still wanted to work. He didn't want to go home and kick it. And listen, I don't know if some people have either elderly grandparents or whoever. Some of them are like that. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if they're not working, they might probably tell you, if I stop working, I'm going to die. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully he went out as peacefully as possible. And, you know, prayers and my condolences go to the family.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna probably be binging on a bunch of stuff.
Oh hell yeah, man!
You know?
Hell yeah, yo. Friday, all the Fridays.
Yo, he's a legend, yo.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And one thing I've always seen with them, and like, you know, even through interviews, is like, for a guy who's done so much, I never heard like ego. I never heard like I never heard like him talking. Yeah, so much humility. And even though he was teaching us through his roles on screen, I think even through interviews he was teaching us too.
Absolutely.
Just how to be someone who exists in an industry that's really cutthroat and be a good person.
I mean, you know, it's crazy. I mean, I say this in closing, like, even though he's no longer with us, his work lives forever. Like, we'll never forget him. Never.
Absolutely.
Yep, rest in peace and condolences to his friends and family. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have one more show this week, and then we are going to be at Complex Con in Long Beach this weekend. Saturday, 5:30 p.m., a live show at the Convention Center with The Game. Pull up. We'll see you tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.
Pull up. I'm going to get your music played by Ack.
All right, man.